Welcome in. This is the early edge for April 10th, 2021. I'm Rick Gehman, filling in for the coach today. And just because the coach isn't here doesn't mean we don't have winners for you. Coming off a crazy, stupid, good 8-1-1 day, Larry goes 3-0. Ian goes 2-0. And my partner in crime, who I'll bring in right now, Mike McClure, goes 1-0. And we've got one pending. Mikey, what is going on here?
We've got one pending. The Xfinity race at Martinsville was suspended about 28 laps short of the official halfway point. So they're going to have to restart that on Sunday. Little disappointing there because we have Austin Cindric plus 130 over Allgaier. He is 2 spots ahead of him when they stopped the race. So we'll see how that goes on Sunday, but very good start so far there.
Very good start. Also adding in coaches to Masters second round picks that he gave you 1-0-1 there. And even the SportsLine site play, the Atlanta Braves cashed as well, which means I've got perfect parlay winners. A year's subscription to SportsLine going out to Leroy, the best boy. Not only the best boy, but now a boy that has a subscription to SportsLine, Ant_Chin, and Jamie Ross 5699. Congratulations. Jacob will get you set up with everything you need to get access to that. But Mikey, we have NBA action. We've got golf. We've got Major League Baseball. We've got everything. Why don't you start us off with a little NBA update?
All right, we've got a lot again here at this point in the NBA season. You guys are used to this by now. For the Toronto Raptors, Kyle Lowry has been upgraded to questionable. He hasn't played in quite some time, but he might make his return tonight against Cleveland. Fred VanVleet's still out. Bembry is back. Rodney Hood questionable in that game as well. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, Jarrett Allen, Larry Nance both remain out. Lakers and Nets, nice little showdown here, minus the fact that we're missing at least 2 of the best players in the game here. Anthony Davis still out, LeBron out, Kyle Kuzma, Alex Caruso questionable, Talon Horton-Tucker out, Marc Gasol questionable. Kind of looks like the Lakers might continue to punt this one away with all of these guys questionable. 11.5-point spread, so that's something to watch. Utah Jazz, 12.5-point favorites. Jordan Clarkson, doubtful. I do expect him to sit that. I think this game's relatively easy for them against the Sacramento Kings. For the Philadelphia 76ers, they are also 11.5-point favorites. A lot of double-digit favorites here today. Joel Embiid, questionable. I think this is a great spot for him to potentially sit, as it's a game they should easily win. On the other side, Lou Dort, Isaiah Roby, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Josh Hall, Mike Muscala, all already ruled out, for the Oklahoma City Thunder. For the Detroit Pistons, Mason Plumlee, questionable, dealing with concussion. Jeremy Grant, Rodney McGruder, Wayne Ellington, all out. They're going to be very thin. Look for someone like Isaiah Stewart to potentially have another big game there. And then for Houston, they've still got their problems with Eric Gordon remaining out, Exum, House, and Waba all out. However, John Wall is upgraded to probable tonight against the Golden State Warriors.
It's that time of year in the NBA with the injury reports and everything going on. You got to pay close attention. Thank you very much, Mike. We're going to turn our attention to the moving day at the Masters. And whether you're looking to watch on the range, feature groups, Amen Corner, holes 15 and 16, all 4 rounds. And of course, the CBS broadcast over the weekend. It's all available on CBSSports.com, the CBS Sports mobile app, and Paramount Plus. The weather is going to be a factor in Augusta, Georgia over this round 3 because winds are kicking up to approximately 20 miles an hour, potential gusts all day long. And what we've been trying to do, Mike, before we get into your picks here is, there is no official strokes gained data from the Masters. They don't share that with the PGA Tour. They don't share that with the public, but some smart minds have been able to get together and have been able to kind of estimate this and calculate it. So the things that you're going to hear from me are going to be our best estimation. So here's what I've got. I've got 2 head-to-head picks for you today. First one, Scottie Scheffler over Tyrrell Hatton. Scottie Scheffler is minus 110. This goes off at 11:20 a.m. Eastern time, and Scottie Scheffler has been gaining in all categories except for strokes gained putting. He is 11th in the field in strokes gained tee to green, while Hatton is doing a lot of his damage around the greens. That is probably unsustainable. And then my other matchup, Abraham Answer, minus 125 over past champion Bubba Watson. Abraham Ancer is 10th in the field in strokes gained approach. And remember, he was assessed a 2-shot penalty on Thursday. So his score, which is what is using to be determined who he's playing with, is actually better than it should be, or I guess worse than it should be, because of that 2-shot penalty that was assessed to him earlier in the week. That goes off at 11:50 a.m. Eastern time. Mike, your Masters picks, please.
I've got one head-to-head matchup that I like. It's going to be Jason Kokrak minus 133 over Francesco Molinari. Like you mentioned, I actually used your strokes gained estimated data to make some of my decisions here on this play. Both of these golfers are gaining strokes putting. The issue with that is only one of them should be gaining strokes putting, and that's Jason Kokrak. He's one of the best putters on tour, even in this loaded field. The other area where Kokrak should really excel is off the tee. He hasn't really done that yet. Some of that is a little misconstrued just because he's had trouble on 5 and 6. The good news is he gets that this morning. He's out in this early wave. He's not going to have to deal with the worst conditions that golfers later in the afternoon are going to have to deal with. I expect him to clean that up. We know the putting is going to be there with him. I do not expect it to continue for Molinari. I like Kokrak here minus 133.
Awesome stuff. All right, our SportsLine free site play, the Calgary Flames minus 105 over the Edmonton Oilers. This goes off at 10 Eastern time, and it comes from our very own Jeff Hockman, who is 7-2 in his last 9 NHL moneyline picks. He notes that the Oilers are coming off, I love this, a phony 3-1 victory on Thursday at Ottawa. They were outshot 40-22. In fact, Edmonton has been outshot in 6 of their past 7 games. They have an unbelievably poor shot differential. The Flames on the plus side of that category, and we might have some tired Oilers legs. It's their 3rd game in 4 nights. So Jeff goes with the Flames. Now, Mike, I see a MLB pick from you, and I see a NASCAR pick from you. Hit me with them.
All right, we'll start with the MLB. We're going to go right back to the Tampa Bay Rays after yesterday here. This is a great spot for them. Chris Archer is someone who is still someone I would consider a high variance pitcher. However, I like him in a more controlled environment, and that's going to be at home in Tampa. That's one of the best parks in baseball for facing this New York Yankees lineup. He also is potentially going to get them without Aaron Judge and Gio Urshela here in this spot. I like it a lot. Domingo Germán has flashed some upside at times, but I really don't think he can pitch deep enough into this game. And the problem is they need him to, because yesterday was essentially a complete bullpen game for the Yankees. This is a rough spot for them. I make the Rays minus 113 as they're winning about 53% of simulations in the model. I think this is a great play. I think the reason that they aren't minus 113 already is because of that name value on the New York Yankees. And then my second play, another NASCAR head-to-head that I love here. We're going to head, it's again in Martinsville. We're going to look at Martin Truex and Brad Keselowski. I'm taking Brad Keselowski plus 115 over Martin Truex Jr. These are the 2 best drivers and teams in these conditions. They're both very good on short tracks. Actually, if you look since 2018 at this racetrack, these 2 drivers have led just over 40% of the total laps available, which is pretty ridiculous at a short track like this. I like him here. Again, I have Truex slightly ahead of him in the simulations in terms of my projected leaderboard, but not enough to justify the plus 115. It should be close to even money here. These are the 2 best drivers. Let's let variance do its thing. We're going to take Brad Keselowski plus 115.
Let's let variance do its thing. That's my favorite statement ever. All right, Jacob, hit me with the big board here. I've got Mike with Jason Kokrak minus 133 over Francesco Molinari in round 3 at the Masters. Also, the Tampa Bay Rays at plus 105, going right back to the well there. Brad Keselowski plus 115 over Martin Truex Jr. at the Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief 500. Couldn't go the whole show without saying that. Myself, Rick, I'm going to take Scotty Scheffler over Terrell Hatton and Abraham Ancer over Bubba Watson as my 3rd round Masters picks. Our SportsLine site play loves the Calgary Flames minus 105, and it is Jacob's Jewelers Gem parlay of the day. The Flames, the Rays, the Winnipeg Jets. If you hit that, it pays out $741 plus $741 on your money. And this is the point where I tell you that we're going to take all these tickets straight to the pay window. Coach, I'm sure we'll be back soon, probably tomorrow. But for now, this has been the Early Edge. Good luck.